Hi everyone, it's Jen from Mind's Eye, and we're gonna do the Clearview talk for the week, and it is March 31st, and we have quite a bit to talk about. So basically, all you need to know is that as I was watching the news today, it was all about the astronauts, and I have to say that was a pretty heinous uh, thing that happened to those guys up there, where there is question of motive and intent if they were left there to just I can't even get the words out. Were they left there intently with no intent to get them out? You couldn't even believe it. So when I actually look at this, and I have to say, you know, thank God we were able, SpaceX, to get out of it with NASA. They have to say, what is this card coming out that's out of the play in Oracle that says Song of Your Soul? It really means the vibration of like none, of none. It was something that would come out of a convent, that something popped in someone's head, this word or a couple phrases that said, you know, I think you need to actually sit down, individuals in the community, and say, there's something not right. There's something not right. How come I'm the one noticing this? So when you actually look at it completely, as I see as a psychic, there was something of loss. And when you see it and you say, how is there something of loss? I'm just crying out right now. But basically, it was communication, it was emails, it was paper, it was a misbreak, it was uh, just normal what we'd have workplace issues, because it does happen there too. That you look at it and you have to say, yeah, we got to get them out. Oh my gosh, we got to get them out. So then when you look at it and you say light language, there was no talking. There was no talking. Here it is, the golden egg again. What is this? It is like it in the community in the United States right now. What is it? What is it? Like that MS-13 leader, he was one of the its that we had to get rid of. It's upon us, it's within us, it's among us, and we have to get it out. So when we say it like that, you can't even believe how animated everything is. This is not a cartoon. We can't do rhetoric like this. So let's look a little bit more. Because how would that actually uh, affect a community? Because we still have issues out here with people who can't get out of their house. And they say, well, it's a free will choice. And I say, that's a heinous review. And when I say it's a heinous review, you can't even say it out loud, at least out here in my community. Because then you say, you're right, because you just go to the grocery store because you got a window of opportunity and you hear, you can't even play outside. All of a sudden, it's like, holy cow, what does star royalty mean with this? I would have to say that star royalty would be looking hard when you have those moments of freedom to eat, that when you take a nap, it counts as I heard it, I felt it, I saw it. It's disgusting. And then all of a sudden you go, why am I seeing some funky things? I gotta go make sure I'm clean and sober. And then you go, wait a minute, am I meditating all of a sudden? When did that start? I couldn't make it up here in Connecticut, at least. So when I look at it, I had to say, what other? So I can see as a psychic, Arkansas, Kansas, a little bit of Texas was like this, and really North Dakota. I couldn't make it up. So when I look at this, you really got to look out through your scopes. You got to look out through your telescopes. And then when you look at it, you go, cosmic unity, all of a sudden everyone's on the same page. They say, found it, found it. That is the uptick. That is when you say, that is the stellar family. That is like more than enough. It really started with just, hold on, I picked up on this. Hold on, what is this? I saw as a psychic, it was this just little chatter in the community. Then all of a sudden it goes, yeah, I really can't go to work because I got so sick, but I'm not able-bodied. And then the insurance goes, no, you are able-bodied. And then work goes, no, you made this, and you go, I couldn't even make it up. So energy work. What do we need to know about energy work in this small community to the large cities? Is watching your vibration, if you speak like that. It also is watching where you go. Just be observant. Like situational awareness. So still having instinct and intuition of, no, I feel like I'll go at this time and it's fine. The hypervigilance to the almost lockdown to the universal precautions is almost done. And like I spoke about it, you have to say that it's really hard. It really, really is hard. I would say wait until almost like true universal precautions of cold and flu and pneumonia through April. Creativity, let me tell you, there's a lot of creativity of communication because some of us don't have a radio, or maybe they can afford a phone right now. So when we get down to the anti-Semitism and to the uptick of the issues that are rearing again post-World War II, that you can't even talk about Agent Orange in Vietnam and Korea to Beirut and Desert Storm. But what about Black Hawk Down? When you have Somalia and Reed coming through, and you actually go, wait, why do I have to go up to Massachusetts and I have to look at Karen Reed as a psychic? Hold on, how does that connect? It really was stuck. And I have to say, yeah, there were times where you felt like you were stuck. So when I see it actually go through, you can't even do. So let's look at this. What do we need to know? What do we need to say no to? What do we need to knock out? And what do we need to KNOW still for another week? It really is about a constellation. There's a constellation. I keep seeing Orion again. There's something about that. I feel that that's why Tesla and anti-Semitism to Nazi fascism is kicking up again, about that angst that they have against each other. So when I see this, I can say it definitely can create a small window of like continuance on, like a continuance on of and all of a sudden I'm here we are, here I am, I'm tapping my card, tapping into, because I found it with another friend and we're talking on the low on our own way. Not being psychic right now. You're tapping into the occult again, Jennifer. You gotta quit doing that because we're gonna get a sinus infection again. I hate it when you do this, but there's something about that golden egg and that ant. Giraffe. You need to know giraffe. So when you see this, there's no logic in giraffe. And when you see it, that is where the money comes in. That's when it actually starts flowing again. Giraffe. So when I see it, you go, mm-mm. When I look, I go, still be watchful, as always. But what is it about this? It is about inheritance. It's about probate. So how would probate and community matters actually go through? It actually would be looking at property lines. It actually would be looking at reviewing everything, tax codes. It would be your normal day-to-day, because we are in tax season. How can I forget? So when you look at this, you can't even believe how hard it is just to keep up. because I gotta lay down and I gotta take it out, and I literally gotta upload and download something. So when I see it, I go, there it is, there it is. Where would that still fit in this small community? It literally is like this again. So you have to excuse. Nobody's putting words in my mouth. So when I do it, I'm just repeating what I'm hearing. I swear to God. I swear to God. All right. When you look at this, look at law enforcement, community watches, uh, contracts, law enforcement, legal, to where they sit and they say, yes, we did see it, we did hear it, but policy and procedure state that we've got to get a lawyer in here when we do it. When we go out and see you, we got to have a judge sometimes sit in with us like they did with MS-13. So when you see it, hidden motives, it's hard. It is hard to get an arrest right now with anything. That's what they want. That's what they want. I can understand that. That's hard though. Look how hard it is to actually get a sex offender a warrant or a restraining order. It's hard to prove out. There's no contentment. I know. Monetary balance, I know. And then when I go illusional, delusional, you'll look illusional and delusional all of a sudden, and it comes in so quick when it hits you that you can't even reform anyone when it happens. It's so imbalanced that you can't even believe how the thief in the night is so quick. Just going to the bathroom, it causes difficulty. A lot of times, some of the symptoms that we've experienced out here in Connecticut was like somebody slamming and throwing energy at your back, tripping you, breaking bones, to all of a sudden you feel feverish and you look like you're a loop-de-loo, and then you have a couple coughs, and then all of a sudden you're like, I've been here for 4 years. How did that happen? So that is where it goes. It takes a lot of teamwork, even if you're not skilled, to get those people smoothly transition back into normal life without, like, someone say, like, without a victim protocol, you still got to do a victim protocol. You still got to do almost like hostage protocol. So why is this getting scary? Why is this getting scary again? So let's boil it down. So when you actually see rhetoric of anti-Semitism, and then you actually see Nazi fascism, and they have every right to say whatever they want to say about Tesla and Doge right now. But when it actually comes to it, there's policies, procedures, there's protocols, there's treaties and steps and tiers that must be followed to the T. So if we see it and we say it, we don't want to bring back T. Who remembers Hoffa? So when I see it, I go, you can't. It goes to such unhappiness, to the struggle, that it actually will complete the cycle. Don't let us go there. Unsecurement, was it popping off? Where's the key? So when I see it, I go, the Seven of Cups looks like grandiose thoughts that are just fleeting. You're right. You're constipated. These are the things that you hear out in the community. Like you go, you gotta eat, you gotta hydrate, you got to keep your living areas as clean as possible. And sometimes, depending on what they're doing, we've seen this before. Some of them who have lived through the 60s, 70s, and 80s and the early 90s went, we already knew what was going on. It's just hunker down and lock it down and just stay about and stay out of each other's way a little bit longer. You're going to be okay. It really is. You're not on the brink of war. You're really not. It is toxic masculinity, hence one large arrest. It literally probably settled 3/4 of America right now because of energy permeating out, like I say, like pig pen. So when you see it, it's not something that you wanted to remember. You're not happy about it. But when you look at it, you really don't need a whole lot of skill. You really don't. So normal reporting, like you saw it, you heard it, you felt it, call the agencies and say it. They already know. They already know. Alleviation of poverty to a degree. To a degree. All right, let's look at this. Let's go back to the astronauts because there's something about that. Containment to confinement to motive and intent. It's really hard to measure right now. It probably is an investigation, but I would say, how would that feel? You're allowed to feel it and say it. That's what the whole point is. So when I see it as it plays out, what you need to know as far as community matters and up to Universal, it will play out in its normal venture and gesture that you can't even see it coming. That knock on the door is so liberating to see someone and say, I am so happy to see you. And it's so good. But let's look at this. Let's look at this. What else? Normal. Speed? Absolutely. Continuance on. Add some is this only card out of this deck. It means continuance on. It's really not what you want investigations at all. Like I said, it's not skilled. It's easy to pick up on. Very easy. Lastly, to close us out, because it really is, I feel, a little bit more sensitive than usual this week as far as community matters go, and it needs a little bit more rest right off the bat. Right off the bat. Doors are opening, you decide, rewards and wild card. Things get presented to people when this happens. And when you look at it, you have to say, you got to let yourself be seen and let yourself be unique when these things happen, when you've been that down. Well, that's easier than what it is to say. I already know. I already know the game that's being played. It's low ball tonight, probably somewhere. That's the effects of racketeering. It's so bad. It's so bad. When you have all in all crime around you and you didn't even know it, it goes, you got to listen to music. You got to know your frequency and just relax and just try to keep a normal routine as much as possible. It says, it's something about homesick for the stars. Absorbing what is not yours, normal and notable. And when you see it, you go, face your true north. You're not for everyone. It is true. It is true. Lifting the veil, question everything, anything underlined must go. You'll know exactly who stuck with you and who didn't. And then when it goes bigger picture, bigger thinking. I just got sick and I just actually, decided to stay home a little bit longer. Hostage detail, no. It really wasn't. But I truly believe, especially after what came out of Waterbury, to a degree, it really was hostile-like. And it definitely happens in America every single day. So it's just, my prudency is just tread lightly, especially how you speak and how it's presented. So when I look at it and I go, I definitely see a one more that happens this week that settles it down. In the next 2 months, a 2 more to 3 more that happens that settles it further. But watch it just play out. And that's all you need to know about what we need to say every day. So with that being said, any questions or concerns, go ahead and leave a like, a comment, a share, an email, and we will talk to you soon. Have a good night, everyone.